Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. So as the title mentions it, I'll be talking about guitars. So all the tracks you're seeing right now, these are the tracks we'll be focusing on today. Fortunately enough, I was supposed to go to college today, but apparently they closed because outside is a fucking mess. There's a huge storm that happened last night. Just ridiculous. It was snowing like all hell. And like freezing rain, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, it was pretty crazy, I have to say. Let me just see here. Is this stream okay? Because I don't know if people are in here and if the stream is working at all. Just give me a moment. But yeah, we'll be focusing on bass, guitar, electric guitar, and acoustic guitar. So that'll be fun. Very pleasant. Okay, so is the stream going on at all? I have to tweet about this thing. Okay, we are live, but no one's watching. That's the thing. Alright. Alright. Share this around. Let me share this around the webs. So yeah, this stream won't be as long as let's say the rest, because we're not seeing Guitar Pro, Mixcraft, and all that stuff. Mostly how I record and how, you know, I approach them, post-processing and all that stuff. Composing wise, I'd say I'll save that for another video. I'll actually make a stream focusing solely on composition as a whole, because that's just, it's working. Oh snap, it's the one, the only Woot Master. How you doing, my dude? Great if everything stopped freezing. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's done. And bye-bye. Alright. Alright. So that's done. So yeah, as I said, I'm going to do a stream focusing on composing as a whole, because recording, composing, and, you know, these are two very different things. So yeah, we'll see that in another stream. Probably next week? I don't know. We'll see. No, next week we're going to talk about vocals. Yes, we will. Alright. So let me just see. Okay, it's still... Alright. So we're going to start on... this is, by the way, this is Generosity. I'm only waiting for the vocals for Eiley Munty's parts, which will be done by Strumpet, who was part of the Long Way from Equestria cover. There was two girls actually in there. One of my friends who actually was part of it, and Strumpet, but she's gonna be the one doing the vocals for Generosity, and I'm just waiting for her part right there. It's gonna come out soon. Don't worry about it. As you can see, it's almost pretty much done. I got everything in place. Just need her vocals. Anyways, so for recording guitars, actually, let's go physically and see what the hell it's all about. Because some people might think, you know, recording guitars, you might need a lot of things, but not really. Hey, Rockin', do you still want the drum part? Well, as I told you, I'm far from done with everything, so you can put a hold on that and just stand by. It'll take a couple of weeks, if not months, before everything is done. So yeah, but don't worry, I'll hit you up whenever whenever the time comes. Okay, so let me do a beautiful little transition here. Bada boom. This is my camera, as you can see. Well, it's my phone using a Droid Cam. Not sponsored, by the way, but it's a really cool thing where you can use your phone as a webcam or whatever. Anyway, so this is my pedal, Zoom G2.1 NU. Absolutely love this pedal. I've been using it for years now. It was my brother's actually, and yeah, he just wasn't playing guitar anymore. I was like, hey, just, you know, take that pedal. I don't use it. Maybe you'll have fun with it. And so this is actually, you know, it takes the job of an amp and makes your life easier when you're playing live and recording stuff. Because first thing first, you don't need any microphones. You just need to you just gotta get a jack, a DI, put it in the output. That's Final Fantasy VII and a PlayStation 1, by the way. Just put it in the output there with a normal guitar jack and a DI, and that's it, straight to the PA. That saves a lot of time. But it also works for recording. So you can take a normal jack, and then you'll take a guitar jack, put it in your output there, and straight into a Focusrite. Right there. So this is the cable on the left is the guitar cable, and this is microphone actually working right now, as you can hear. What up, motherfucker? Not much. What about you? Except there's a fucking snowstorm outside. But yeah, and we can't really see. Let me see if I can turn on my flashlight here. No, I can't. Okay. Well, I'll try to get it as much as I can. As you can see, the little red line there, beside the cable on the knob itself. Let me just point what I'm talking about. This thing, the knob, right there. It's so goddamn hard. Okay, you can see the red line on the top right there. Okay, so basically, you don't want to have that too high or too low. My point of reference is just to point it at the number, a very tiny number. I try and, yeah, now the lighting is shit, so can't do that. But yeah, you don't want to set it too high or too low. One point I would say and recommend is for you to have your input. When you play and you see the meter, let me actually grab my screen and move that here. So when you have your meter here, you want to see it at around -12. I remember you had such a beautiful sound. That's what I like about it. It's really versatile. You can do a bunch of things. And thank you, by the way. I've been working on that tone for years. Once you get to like understand the pedal, well, that not just for that pedal, but when you understand your gear correctly, you can do so many things with that. I have a bunch of tones in there. Let me just move that here. It's not that important right now. So yeah, you want that meter to show around -12, because it gives you enough room to boost it, to cut it. It's not too high, it's not too low. So yeah, I recommend around -12. So it can't clip, that's for sure. And it won't be too low, that you don't have to boost it afterwards. So this is what it looks like, really. Let me just move this. No, not this. This. Thank you. As you can see, the waveform here. You just click on that. Yeah, it's at -10-ish. It's between -9 and -12. I'll just move that around here and de-zoom this. Jesus Christ. Okay. So as you can see here, -9, -12, it's just between there. So you have enough room to boost it, cut it. It's not too loud. It won't clip. Because if you have it too high, let's say, I don't know, between -3 and -4, and every single track is there, you're going to have to cut everything anyways. So you just want it to have it there. That's what I've been told a lot of times. It's the best between -9 and -12. So let's get back on the multi-track and just bring that a little bit. And so yeah, so that pedal, you just plug it in your focus, right? And that's it. You just hit record and that's all. And oh yeah, of course, forgot to mention the little the little pin here under the knob. It sucks that the lighting isn't the best. I'm gonna try and see what the hell I can do with it. Yeah, no, I can't really do anything. Anyways, you have your little switch here. There's two modes. There's line and instrument. Now I would test it out right now, but since the lighting is so garbage and I'd have to do a bunch of things, it won't work anyway. But when you set it to instrument, it's when you're plugging an instrument in, obviously. So you get John Petrucci sounds. Well, it really comes down to the amp. Gotta have that headroom, bro. Hell yeah. So let me just zoom in on the pedal here. Is it Hammond on the pedal? Yeah, you can download, there's a bunch of patches online that you can find that people have made over the years that sound like certain tones. For example, I'll have, let me see here. No, I don't have any downloaded, I think. But yeah, it really, you gotta listen to, and you gotta know what gear he uses, obviously. So, for example, I know that John Petrucci uses, the two letters are the name of the amp they're trying to emulate here, because they're not, you know, it's not the exact same. So MS is a Marshall, Drive, Crunch, HW, I don't know, BG is Boogie. Then there's US Blues, which I don't know, Vox, and Fender. So I know that John Petrucci uses Boogie, but I found a better tone with, is it I think it's called Diesel. I'm not sure, but DZ is for that, and it's really good for John Petrucci tone, actually. Let me just get back to that. I have JP Rhythm, which is John Petrucci Rhythm. I didn't know what to call them, so I just called him John Petrucci. So John Petrucci Rhythm, lead, for lead. Echo, well, wait, what's it called? Why the hell is it HP? When the hell did I change that to HP? Okay, I'm gonna change that right now. Thank you, JP. Not Harry Potter, as far as I'm aware. So the only difference between the lead, well, actually, I watched a couple of videos of John Petrucci explaining, you know, what his settings on his amp are, and different things like that that he uses, or pedals or whatever, because he has, you know, his Mesa Boogie and an Axe effects for different modulations and whatnot. I only have this pedal, so you gotta do with that. So yeah, the only difference between the lead and the rhythm patches are basically there's more gain on the lead, just a bit more. This one's at 75, the other one's at 65. for the EQ, there's a little bit more bass here at 160. It's at -10 instead of -12. And I think a bit more mid. I'm not sure. I'll have to check that. And also there's a delay, which I don't use when recording. I'll use a software delay on Audition to get it with the correct tempo and stuff. And a bit more reverb. That's all there is to it. And the other one I have here is the JP Echo. So it's basically just there's a fuck ton of delay with a lot of reverb to, and I use the pedal here, which is you can assign it, as you can see right there. You can assign it for to change the volume, effects, the drive. I set it to drive for the lead and rhythm patches, so I can change the different, so I can change the drive and have it more crunchy than basically just control the amount of drive you want. You can set it to the modulation, delay, and reverb as well. But it's to achieve the sound in the, for example, like in the Count of Tuscany during that like slow section, just before the acoustic part. This is very effective for that. So I just use the pedal for the volume and just, you know, do a fade in and use a note, and there's a shit ton of delay that does that. Like, what songs does he use the sound effect? What sound effect? I know he uses chorus live more than in studio, but yeah. So that's for the drive patches. This is the clean tone that I have. Uses a it's the Zoom clean amp, if you want, because there's just a bunch of Z something trying to emulate something. So Z Wild, Z MP1, Bottom is very reminiscent of like a Boogie, Dream, I don't know, Scream, I don't know what it's trying to, but you know, it's just different amps they're trying to do. And weirdly enough, I thought it was chorus, but after using Detune, it is just clean as all hell. I've never had any clean tone like that before. But I don't use chorus on that one. I use Detune, and I can change the amount of chorus I want with the pedal since I set it to modulation for that patch. So I can, you know, pull it back and have no chorus at all and have just a clean tone to do like acoustic strumming or whatever. And it really works well. A bit of delay and reverb as well. And you can just do a bunch of different patches for that. So that's for the pedal. So it's really just, you need a jack to get into your interface of choice. And that's pretty much it. So let's get to recordings themselves and how I work with them and how they sound. So first off, for rhythm guitars, I think it's pretty much like that with 90% of metal songs or whatever. You'll have them double tracked. So as you can see, it's not copy pasted, it's two different takes. And it's played, you play the same and you can do harmonies and stuff. You could decide to copy and paste, and you know, because here's the thing, I'll delete that and copy. Oops. No, don't open that, thank you. You know, you could just do that, copy and paste. It works, but it'll sound weird, so just hear that right now. Just waiting for it to pre-render, and here you go. So obviously they're at the same time, so it sounds like it's in mono, but if I just move it just a tiny bit, and we're talking like 5 milliseconds. Yeah, it's pre-rendering, just give me a moment. Alright. know, there's a bit of a difference there, but it's not, it doesn't sound as wide as a double track, a real double track, not a copy paste and moved. You could also use a delay, like I use sometimes for leads if you want. Let me just get it. Where is it at? I use it somewhere. I'm not sure. But pretty much you can use a delay to split, like to have your mono track split 5 seconds to the left and 5 seconds to the -5 seconds to the right, and have like that sort of effect, just like on the screen right now, just like I did. But the real trick is to do 2 different takes, and it'll sound way wider, and you can be proud of it because you did it 2 times. But sure, when you're not used to do it, I recommend, you know, doing the copy paste and move it a bit forward or backwards to have that sort of effect when you're a beginner. But if you want to do it the hard way and do it, you know, the real way, quote unquote, you can do it double take like that. So here's how it sounds with 2 different takes. So I think you understand what I mean by, you know, it sounds wider. You know, wait, let me just boost that up a little bit. It sounds a bit wider. And of course, one is panned 100% to the left, and the other one 100% to the right. As far as post-processing, there isn't much going on. Obviously, there's, you know, a bit of an EQ, which I'll show right now. So let me actually zoom in on that. So depending on the, you know, depending on the amp you're using, depending on your patch or whatever, you'll have a different EQ. But this is how I use it. So a bit of a treble cut here with the high shelf, low cut at 100 Hertz, and a shelf at 80 Hertz, -12, and a bit at 2000 with a wide Q, just to get rid of that, not muddy mid-range, but high mid-range, which isn't really lovely to hear. And as I mentioned during the drum stream, try to cut the bass out of every instrument that you don't need bass. This way you'll clear out your low end, and you'll be able to hear the instruments that you want low end in, for example, the bass and the kick. These are instruments that you really want to hear the low end because they're there for that. So, and as well, if you're doing palm mutes and you don't have a low cut, you're gonna have it's gonna be a nightmare for you unless you're using multiband compression. Obviously, but I'm not using it, and I'm not the best one to explain how it works, so I'm not even going to talk about that. But yeah, it's just a very simple EQ just to cut and clarify everything. So I'm just going to hit that here to pre-render it. Sounded weird. Let me just pan it to the center, and we're gonna remove and add the EQ. Just like that. So here's without any EQ, and I'll switch it up here and there. It would be great if it stopped lagging, but hey, you can hear really the difference. It's more clear here. And there's more mud when I remove the EQ. So let's go one by one. Let's start with the bass cut first. So So this would be your basic EQ, and then you could, you know, tweak some things here and there. But this, the 2000 hertz, is the one part that I, you know, tweaked here and there, and I found that this is the one that I got rid of that makes it sound better, in my opinion. So here's without the mid-range cut, and I'll switch it around here and there. It sounds clearer, it sounds less muddier with the EQ, and that's really the only thing I have going on for rhythm most of the times. So it's not something. Is this? Yes. I don't think you were there when you joined. Well, you were there when you joined, obviously, but I think you missed the beginning where I mentioned it. But yes, it is Generosity. Yeah, I only need the female vocal parts, which will be coming soon by a good friend of mine, Strumpet. She was part of the Long Way from Equestria cover. Just need her parts, and yeah, it'll be up soon, hopefully. So here's the two guitars. I'll switch with and without the EQ as we listen to it, because, you know, it just alone, it sounded, you know, it didn't sound as powerful. Because obviously it is solo, and as I mentioned, you cut off the bass at 80 hertz for, well, it's not, you know, a hard cut. It's, as you can see here, so the guitar, let me just remove that. So 100 hertz for a high-pass filter, and it goes, it reaches 50 hertz right there. Because if we listen to it with the bass, we'll focus on the guitar first, then we'll add the bass later as we go on. So here are the two guitars, and I'll switch on and off the bass right here. Oh wait, crap, you can see it. Hold on. Hold on. Just a moment, please. And at first I didn't understand why, you know, I'd have to cut it, but once I did it, I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. This way you can understand more, well, not understand, you can hear more things in the low end than if you have nothing. Basically, the only instruments that I still have bass under 80 hertz is the bass and the sub kick. Sometimes the string if I have like a cello going on or a double bass or whatever, but that's it. All the other instruments that don't require a lot of low end, I'm getting rid of it. So let's listen to the two. Let me just zoom in. Boom. Right there. So I'll switch on and off the EQ here and there. So here we go. Whoops. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's the whole thing, because I'm getting rid of like 6 dB on every guitar. So hold on, that was a mistake from my end. Hold on, and here we go. Take number 2. So yeah, it really makes a difference. There's less mud. You can hear everything going on, and it's not, because, you know, if I could cut the mid-range a lot, get rid of all the mids, which is like a meme when you're doing metal. Cut all the mid, and I'll gradually pull them up. So here we go again. I could get rid of it, but in a mix, you won't hear the guitar as well, because the guitars, they're not low end, they're mostly in the mid range in terms of frequency. So you don't want to get rid of too much mid range, except if you're doing like a Metallica sound kind of thing. But even then, I don't think it's in the 2000. I think it's in the 800 or something. But yeah. So that's for rhythm guitars. If we go on to lead guitar and compare the two EQs, there's actually nothing. There's no difference. Whoops. So the only difference is I send my lead guitars to a bus track, which is my delay right here, which is synced normally at one quarter note of the tempo. So yeah, let's listen to the guitars. When playing live, do you cut it at the amp or do the setting as usual and fuck it? Cut all the mids. I have that pedal. It's garbage. But when playing live, let me pull in my camera again. Hold on. So this pedal, wrong patch. So there's a 6-band EQ on here. So this is for the low. So you have 160 hertz, 400, 800, 3.2K, 6.4K, and 12K. And so as you can see, the 160, which is the lowest I have on there, is cut down all the way. It's at -12. It's the lowest I can get. So it gets rid of that. But I also have a booster in the range 2. No fucking clue what that means, but just a booster. But generally, when playing live, you know, when we're doing sound checks, if it's a good soundman, they will cut the low one as much as they have. I remember this year at BronyCon, you know, I didn't have it at, but I had a different sound back then. It changed a little bit over the couple of months it has been since then. But you know, they asked me like, can you turn down your bass there, or you can't? 3 middle zones in a row. Fuck. But yeah, I cut it a little bit and then it helped them. But normally well, here's the thing with an amp mic'd up, it's a different story. Mid scoop goes all the way to Jesus Christ, the memes. You can see my face in the reflection. Oh. Yeah, normally when you mic up an amp, it's a very different story. Unfortunately, I don't really have the knowledge for that. Of course, the best reference I have is Glenn Fricker. He has a bunch of videos talking about it. But yeah, normally you want to cut when you're doing it live, you want to do it just as if you were in a studio, but instead of being recorded, it's just one shot. But also depending on the acoustic environment you're in, it'll change things. So it's really, it's pretty much the same depending on the area you're in. But yeah, I heavily suggest cutting the low one on guitars. For the lead guitars though, as I showed earlier, let me just pull that back up. The low end, the 160 is just a bit higher. It's at -10 instead of -12. So when you're playing in the high note, still, you know, it's not thin. There's a bit of balls in the notes. If you see what I mean. So let me get rid of that again. Boom. Okay. So let's go for a lead guitar. Let's grab the solo. Actually, I did something special for the solo. Spoiler alert. Somewhere around here. Yeah, there we go. I added a second guitar during the solo, but we're gonna listen to that right now. So 1 lead. So without the delay. Jesus Christ, I hate that it cuts like that. Let me just try to fix this. But how can I fix it? I don't know. Maybe it's because they weren't pre-rendered or whatever. What is your typical bass, mid, high set to get a comfortable sound? Well, if you're big, hairy sound, well, it really depends on the amp first, but generally, it's if you have like a 3, like, you know, bass, mid, high, if those are the 3 knobs, I'll put the bass at 3, mid at 5, and high at at about 4 or 5. Yeah, I think that's it. And if let's go with like a clock. So for bass, I would say, I don't know, 9 o'clock, mid about 10 o'clock, and high between 10 and 11 o'clock. Really, really basic. Nothing too much going on. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's hope it doesn't crackle again. So that's without the delay. And with the delay. Oh wait, that's actually the harmony. Hold on. I'll get rid of some tracks. This way it won't fuck up everything. So just give me a moment here. This should help. Not even a bit. Okay. Well, screw you. And screw you. You. This will help. There we go. So there you go for lead guitars. Now, we're going to get into the more complicated stuff. And this is the acoustic guitars. You still practice 6 hours a day. Not every day, but do play a lot. It's not really practice actually, it's just playing Dream Theater songs. Just for example, as I posted on Instagram and Twitter and whatever, I am actually working on a full cover of Octavarium, the album, and so I had to learn it's time to upgrade that PC. Yes, but I'm broke. I mean, okay, here are my specs. First off, my graphic card is like an old, let me see, what's the model? If I can even, have access to that. Shit. It's an old NVIDIA card. Really fucking... It doesn't even have an HDMI output. Just to give you an idea. So 4 gigabytes of RAM. DDR3. My hard drive is 250 gigs. But I have a 1.5 terabyte external hard drive, which really saved my ass. 3.06 gigahertz Core 2. That's all I know about my PC, and it's absolute garbage. But it's mostly good for the fact that I'm streaming at the same time. When I'm not streaming, it doesn't crackle that much, fortunately. But yeah, I definitely need to upgrade that piece of garbage. But the thing is, the power is it the power supply? That big box that normally you plug your graphics card in there. I think it's a power supply, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's... anyways, my power supply doesn't have any cables to plug a better graphics card. And last time I tried to upgrade my my RAM, it didn't work. I bought some... I bought like a... Alright. I'm also hungry. After that, I'm fucking making myself a poutine. TX Diag. What the fuck is this? What Pokemon is that? For specs. Oh. Not even gonna attempt to open Google right now. Everything's gonna fuck me over. But yeah, it does the job at least. That's all I can say. But for playing games, and I can't even run Golf with Friends at 60 FPS. It runs at 30 FPS, and it's not even full screen. 4 gigs of RAM. Roblox, that's... Yeah. But, I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. Like, I see, like, Sable Symphony and Prince whatever, they have, like, goddamn battle stations. How can you even run pedal emulations with... I don't run pedal emulations. I mean, the pedal... This thing... This shit's hardware. It's on its own. It's plugged in the wall. And that's it. Yeah. They have fucking battle stations that like fucking 64 gigs. I will pray for you. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, they have fucking like 64 gigs of RAM. I'm like, what? Why do you need so much? They're like, well, duh. You gotta run Reaper with that shit. I'm like, what? Only have 4 gigs, my dude. I can still do many things except playing games because I have a shit graphics card and not a lot of RAM. Yeah, rip me. But hey, I can access Facebook. I can access the internet. Fine with that. I'm fine. And if you saw what I had before this, holy crap. Like, the first PC I remember trying to download and run Slender, you know, that, yeah, throwback to Slender, on its slowest setting, on its slowest, window size, couldn't even fucking run it on that PC. I had like 512 megs of RAM. It was, wait, was it 512 or 256? I can't it was garbage. It was complete garbage, and then we upgraded to this thing in 2014. And wow, what a change. 4 gigs of RAM. I was like, oh my god. And then my friend gave me his graphics card, put it in, plugged 2 monitors. I was like, holy shit, this is the dream. And actually, let me show you what I've never really showed my setup. But hardware costs money. This pedal is, well, it's outdated. Damn it. What's it called? Not outdated. It's out of production. It's been out of production for a couple of years, but they have It was 300 or no 250 back then. The new one, which I talked about in the last stream, which is the Zoom G. Well, the equivalent of this would be the G3 XN. Instead of having 2 buttons down there, there's 3. But this one is $300, and it's really worth the money. If you're looking into it, just Google Zoom. No, J3. Sorry. Wait, is it J? No, G. Yeah, there you go. So Zoom G3 XN. Just Google that. Find it at your local music store if they have them, or buy it online. Do whatever you can, but it's really an amazing piece of gear for not a lot of money. Or, you know, you can grab, you know, whatever the hell you want, but I personally recommend the Zoom. I'm not sponsored or anything, it's just, I like their product. And after seeing the Andertons demo, Jesus Christ, I want it. There's also plenty of free amp sims. Let me see here. There's the I can't remember the producer of that VST, but there's crap, it's not in there. But there's the Shred Amp Simulator, which is free. It's great. There's the it's the Lapoo amp sims. There's a bunch of them. There's like the Labrit, the 436 or something like that. There's just a bunch of amp sims made by them. They're great as well. I just personally like. Oh, and I forgot to mention this button here. You can choose for it to emulate a cab. So there's stack, which is a 4x12 combo, tweed combo, and matched. Don't know what the 3 others are, I can't remember right now, but the stack emulates a 4x12. Or you can choose to remove it and have it like without a cab, and you could use a cab impulse in your DAW. But yeah, I'm running 2 screens. One's a TV and the other is just a regular ass monitor. $300, not 300 euros. So in euros, it must be like $5, 5 euros. No, probably 200 something. And it's not like this. You should watch a couple of videos demoing the pedal and see if you like it. I'm not saying buy it. If you don't buy it, you're a piece of shit. Definitely not. You do your thing. I just personally enjoy Zoom's products a lot. Where was I going with that? Anyway, oh yeah. I may like an AMVST. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and do that. So for clean guitars, and clean guitars I mean acoustic guitars. Let me get rid of the camera. Right. So clean guitars. Now this, there's many ways to record an acoustic guitar. First thing, you can, if you have a piezo, you can plug it directly in it. Use a DI or whatever, plug it in your interface, and there you go. You can record it with a microphone. I could get a Russian Big Muff clone and some mid-tier dirt cheap other effects with all this money, dude. This one really seems handy to have a good emulation. Yeah, well, you have the choice between, well, I'm thinking that I'm guessing you have an amp, correct? Because if you do, definitely go for standalone pedals then, because this is really an amp sim. There's a bunch of amp sims in there. Around 250. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. For example, I just said my patches, but for example, you have compression here. There's 3 different compressions. There's effects, which you have auto wah, resonance, booster, tremolo, a ring mod, which I personally hate, slow attack, octave, which is well, an octave or whatever. Pedal Vox, which emulates Vox Wah and a Crybaby. Next, you have the noise reduction. So there's the Zoom noise reduction, noise gate, and dirty gate. You have different amp sims. Now, here are the different amp sims. I'm not gonna tell what each is, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. There's an acoustic sim as well. So 30 different amps. One EQ, you turn it on or off, that's it. Now for the modulation, oh boy, you're in for a treat. So for chorus, just the chorus, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different courses. There's 2 phasers, there's like a dynamic phaser or something like that. 2 different flanger, whatever. Vibrato. Step, which it sounds weird, but it's an effect. Cry, which sounds a bit like the guitar in Living on a Prayer. Detune, which is sort of a chorus. Pitch shift. Mono pitch, which is another pitch shift. HPS, which does harmony. There's a free version, a paid version, which is 60 US. Nice. I think I've heard of this. Your mom gay. Fuck you. I was talking about your battle station and how my PC is garbage. Because I only have 4 gigs of RAM. Because Wootmaster said, you know, upgrade your PC. And I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm too broke for this shit. So HPS is a harmonizer. Then you have pedal pitch, so you can control the pitch with the pedal. Duh. No clue what the hell that is. Air, no clue what the hell that is. Delay. It says it's the delay. Tape echo, which is another delay. Delay. And yeah, so that's a fuck ton of modulations. Then you have your delay. So you have delay, echo, analog delay, ping pong delay. When you can only use that if you have a stereo cable, otherwise it's not gonna work. Reverse delay, and that's it. And for the reverb, you have hall, room, spring, arena, tiled room, early reference, and multi-tap. It's turn it up to 11. But yeah, it really is cool. For you have a bunch of emulations, and I haven't even, you know, tried anything special with it. I just did something very basic. So just for example, the clean tone that I have, you know, there's compression, noise reduction, clean amp, EQ, chorus, delay, reverb. That's it. And just for that, you know, you'd need, well, a compressor if you want, noise reduction if you need it, an amp. Well, you already have that. My epic battle station. Jesus Christ. Then you need a chorus pedal, a delay pedal, and a reverb pedal. And depending on this is your Zoom pedal though, yeah boy. It's fucking old, but it's working very nice. I'll do a couple of sound demos afterwards. If we can talk about acoustic guitar. I've been trying to do it like 2 times. Take number 3. Alright. So for acoustic guitar, as I was saying, so you have the choice Rockin' Signature. So you mean Great Value John Petrucci. So yeah, you either plug in your guitar if you have a piezo. That would be freaking cool, to be honest. But I don't think I'm far from getting a fucking what's it called? Jesus Christ. Not an association, but yes, I said ass. Last Zoom I had was trash. Was it the 505? Because the 505 is fucking shit. Unless you had the... Well, maybe you had the G2. But it was also shit. This one is like one of the good pedals they started doing, and then they made the G3, which I'm like, ooh, give me that shit. So yeah, either you plug in your guitar, if you have a piezo, go directly in your interface, or use a DI, whatever. Use a microphone. Different types of microphone will have different sounds. Or do a blend, which I used to do, but now it's just, it sounds better with the microphone. No acoustic, no! Lame! Boo! It's for generosity, my dude. I need acoustic. Acoustic? Hell yeah. I'm acoustic, my dude. God damn it. What, are you fucking gay? Your mom gay. So here are, and there's a bit more going on for the acoustic guitars. There's a compressor. Minus 21 at the threshold. 4 for the ratio. Attack of 5 milliseconds. And release of 100. And output at -3 for each of them. Panned endorsement. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get an endorsement anytime soon. So for acoustic guitar, let's listen to that. Oh, and they're going into the Reverb bus track. G1XN, yeah, it's like a piece of plastic. Yeah, it's fucking garbage. It's like it's like when I saw the Boss GT1, I think, the new one they made. Oh my god, I didn't think it was going to be that small, but it looked like a toy. I was like, what the fuck is that? It's fucking, what is this, a toy? What is this, a Guitar Pro pedal? Not Guitar Pro, Guitar Hero pedal, whatever. So yeah, it goes into the reverb, so we'll listen with and without reverb a couple of times. And let me just... Jesus Christ. Let's remove and add different effects. I just need to see if there's... okay, cool. Nice. Alright, so let's listen without any effects going on. Now with the compression... and with the EQ, oh, which by the way looks like this, so low end cut and a bit of mid-range cut. And with the reverb. So yeah, and now for recording acoustic guitars with a microphone, depending on the microphone you're using, the guitar you have, you're gonna have to place it somewhere. It's gonna change. Try to, you know, when you have a good sound and you like it, try to remember where it was. I know they make microphones with like laser, with like a laser in them, so you can, you know, point it somewhere, take a picture and be like, okay, this is where it was pointing. Or you can, you know, get good and remember it by heart. No, but generally with a large diaphragm. So for example, the one that I have, the AT2020, which I'll show it right now, you'll be able to see my face. There we go. So the AT2020 right now, this is a large condenser mic. There, that's it. Oh, is that alcohol? Hell yeah, dude. So with that, try to point it. I'll actually go grab my acoustic guitar, so just give me a moment. We'll be right back. Video frozen. What the hell? Is it good now? Shit. So we'll remove the pop filter for just a little bit. Okay. So you have your sound hole, which is the hole. Oh yeah, of course you're not gonna hear me as well. God damn it. So you have your hole, which is the sound hole here. You don't wanna. Is it frozen? Try to turn it on and off again. So if you. Oh wait, Oliver, hell yeah. So if, just to give you an example, I'll put it directly in front of the hole. So just. So there's a lot of bass going on, and you don't really want that because it's, after you recorded it, you can't really change anything about that. That's the one thing with recording acoustic guitar with a microphone. So if I'll move along the neck here, if you have a small diaphragm, let's say a pencil mic, you want to point it around the 12th fret. The cam vid is working, but the audition window is freezy. Well, it's not working right now. There's nothing going on. Okay, so yeah, normally with a pencil mic you can have two actually. One pointed towards the sound hole a bit more, and the other one will be at the 12th fret. So I'll move over until where I normally have it. So here we go. Whoa. So that's normal here, like the part between the sound hole and the 12th fret is where I normally aim the microphone, because you still get a bit more bass and it's not too thin. Like if I play it here, you don't get anything, it's too thin. Here it's too bassy, and so here is just the right amount of both the sound hole and the strings. So of course, this is for strumming. For everything that's more, you know, solo and everything, you can move it a bit more towards the sound hole because you're gonna need a bit more bass. So, for example, I'm gonna move towards the sound hole. yeah, if you're strumming between, if the more solo you're going, trying to move it over there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for acoustic guitar. Or, you know, you can plug it in. Plug it in the hole. Because there's a fuse over there. But I don't use it, so. But a blend of the two can be something cool to work with. But normally, since I tried covering The Count of Tuscany by Dream Theater, they do a mix of acoustic guitar and clean guitar on electric guitar, and oh my god, it sounds lovely. So let me just put that back, and we're gonna get back to this. Be right back. Alright. Get rid of my ugly face. Okay, so yeah, so recording guitars, acoustic guitars, depending on the way you want to do it, you want to change the microphone, and try to remember where it was, especially if it's a pencil mic. If it's a large condenser, large diaphragm microphone, it's not really gonna matter if you're, you know, like 2 centimeters off. It's not gonna be that much. Of course, if you're like, I don't know, 3-4 inches off, that's gonna change the sound a bit. But trying to remember approximately where it was, and try to record your acoustic guitars in one song in one shot. Well, not in one shot, but in the same day, in the same session, basically, so you don't have to move the microphone and have 2 different sounds. Same goes for like an album, you know. I was about to be cynical and ask to have you play. Get him. It played a bit of a. Well, I mean, I played some of a. On there, I played a bit of a Solitary Shell, kind of. But I do play a lot of Dream Theater, my dude. If you're new here, oh boy, you're in for it. You don't know me, but I'm your brother. No, since last year I've been into Dream Theater. It makes no fucking sense. I almost listen exclusively to that. I need to stop. Really, you need to start listening to more shit. Well, it's not that I listen only to that, but mostly that. But it's fun. I'm not a prog snob, though. I'm not saying, oh, it's better than everything. David Bowie is Bay. Anyways, so this is for the acoustic guitar. And then we have a tremolo guitar, which is pretty much just a crunch guitar with tremolo. That's an EQ with tremolo going on. Whoa, I'm gonna have to move that over here. Sorry. With the tremolo going on. And so that's how it sounds. And of course there's a bit of reverb. And so that's pretty much it for the guitars, really. Oh yeah, and I forgot the bass, of course. The bass is really important in a lot of things. Sometimes people overlook it, but it's very, very important, especially in Dream Theater. they add a lot of flavors when you do it right. If it's a cover, you can't do really anything about it. But when it's your own song and you can try to mess around with bass, you can add a lot of flavor to your song. So for the bass, I've got a compressor going on, an amp sim, a very cheap amp sim, just to give distortion on there, and a very basic EQ, if I remember. Yeah, a bit of boost in the bass, because on my bass there's a three band EQ with the knobs, and I have the bass not too high. David Bowie's Bay, hell yeah, glam rock for the win. And so yeah, the amp sim is really just to give a bit of, like, because I can't achieve anything on my Zoom pedal because it's a Zoom guitar pedal. I know they make bass pedal, but I can't really quite get the tone, the distortion I wanted. So, you know, here's the bass on its own. The intro, that's what starts the song. It's a bass line, so there you go. I'm gonna have to boost that a little bit. Let me pre-render that. I'm actually gonna de-zoom something, because Jesus Christ. Oof, you can't ground control my major tom. Jesus Christ. Well then. Go. And come on, baby. Come on, finish pre-rendering, please. Thank you. Come on, damn it. All right. So here's without the compression. Well, without anything, actually. Do I have... Crap. Just look over here. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be boosted as all hell, so let me just... So here's with just the compression. Here's with the distortion. And now depending on the song, because I know, for example, the Dream Theater self-titled album, there's a shit ton of distortion, more than that, I think. Let me see. Yeah, something like that. I dropped it a little bit for this. And here's with the EQ. And of course, there's some peaks here and there because I don't have any compression in the pedal, since I don't want to over compress it too much. Plus, if I want to have more dynamics, that's a lot of fun in there. So yeah, but generally it's about that size right there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Guitars, acoustic, electric, and bass. Really, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I'll be covering composition as a whole in a stream, since it's like a totally different thing. Approaching guitars, well, recording guitars and composing guitar is very different, and you need a completely different mindset, because recording guitar, you already have your idea and shit, and, well, it's just two different fields. So here's what I'll do. Close everything. Hell no, I don't want to save anything at all in that project. Let me just load it back. Generosity. I'll mute my vocals, not because I don't like them. It's just I don't want to give everything away, since it's gonna be out soon. But it's gonna take a little while here to load and pre-render everything. So meanwhile, I'll be talking and we'll be fading out on that thing. So if you have any questions, requests, or really anything, please be sure to comment down below after the stream is over, because the chat doesn't stay in the comments below. But And if you have questions and forgot to ask it in the comments, you can ask them right away during the stream. That's why they're live streams. It's to interact with people as the thing is going on. And it's really cool. Today was more active, actually, than the other streams, and I like it. I like it when there's interaction, mostly because otherwise I feel like I'm talking alone, and it's, you know, it's stupid. I'm like, well, here's how you do something, and no one's listening. It's weird, but I know people watch it afterwards, but, and I'll hold a poll on Twitter, asking for different days and times that it would be, you know, best for me to do the streams. Obviously, I can't do it too late, because, you know, there's, neighbors upstairs, and I can't talk that loud for, an extended period of time, so... I think I got to go. Cheers to you, May. But I think, yeah, like midday, early afternoon would be best for me. But yeah, I'll have a poll on Twitter after the stream, and I'll see, you know, what times would be better to stream. But it feels like during this time of day, I would do it on weekends, but I mean, I don't know. I'll have to see. For sure, it's once a week, but really right now it's not planned in advance. Like I woke up, I was like, let's do a stream today, and then I saw, oh shit, colleges. Well, no, let me switch that. I saw that college was closed because of the fucking storm, and I was like, hey, let's do a stream, and posted on Twitter. I'll be live in 3 hours, and that's it. Never really planned in advance, and I wish I could, you know, do it on a regular schedule of like, okay, every Wednesday or every Thursday, and whatnot, at what time, because I feel it would be a better thing to do than just randomly start streaming. Plus, if you guys are looking forward to it, it'll, you know, give you time to prepare and whatever. But yeah, right now, the first streams will be, you know, how I approach things, how I do things, but next, I think it'll be, streams doing, like, just recording stuff, or just doing other stuff than that. They serve as, like, an archive, I guess, to how I approach things, and if you guys have any questions, I'll be like, well, you can watch this video at X time, I'm talking about that thing exactly, or whatever. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I was thinking to move over to Twitch sometime soon after this series is done. I think I'm gonna do that, actually, yeah. Oh yeah, actually, I said I was going to do a showdown of like my tones. Crap, forgot about that. I'll do just that. Well then, gives me something to do in the meantime. So, did it actually work though? Okay, it works. Jesus Christ, that's loud. Okay. Okay. Let me just see how loud the guitar is and not the... Well, actually, I could turn it down a bit since I can hear myself here. Oh, that's a good volume. Alright, so here's the clean tone that I have on the second position on the pickup selector. So it's splitted between the middle pickup and the humbucker. On the bridge. So here it is, clean tone. Let me just tune that shit. I have intonation problems, by the way, on my guitar, since it's not a real gem. It's a copy. And so I have a lot of problems with the intonation, but it's as close as I can get to the like almost perfect intonation, but whatever. I mean? And here's without the chorus, so... Oh shit, there's still a delay going on. Let me get rid of that. So that's for the clean tone. I have another one which was used for Time Stand Still at BronyCon when you play that shit live, so and a phaser one, so just and yeah, that's for the clean tone. So let's get into the distorted tone, so the rhythm tone. So that's for the rhythm tone. The difference between the lead and rhythm isn't that apparent, but let me just play something and I'll switch over. So, yeah, and for lead sounds, it's really fucking cool, so... And here's for the echo patch, the one that I said I used the volume pedal. So here's one I use, well, without the volume pedal, you know, using that thing. So let's just play randomly. Yeah, there's a lot of delay going on, but when used with the volume pedal, it's really cool. also used in Hell's Kitchen, actually, so... Just at the beginning though, rip. But yeah, that's pretty much the 99% of the sounds I use. Actually, no, most of them are that. So, yeah. So yeah, let's listen to... Hell yeah, thank you, dude. Practicing that thing for years now. It's not magic. You can do it too if you put the effort and time into it. You can learn to do some crazy shit. I need to practice my goddamn sweep picking, but I'm mostly better at doing these things. Should have turned on the camera. I'm a goddamn idiot. But yeah, let me mute the vocals because I don't want to give that away. And with that said, with all that shredding happening, that'll be all for today's stream. I'll leave you guys with the intro of Generosity. Maybe some vocals. Maybe. We'll see. You'll see in like 2 minutes. So thanks to everyone who joined. Way many more people than last time, which is great. So stay tuned for Hello Baraka Plush. Unfortunately, we are leaving. Well, the stream is over in a couple of minutes. But thank you for joining anyways. So I'll see you guys next stream next week. Hopefully this will be posted, well, the Generosity cover will be done by then. That would be cool. So next week we'll take a look at vocals. Not only, well, yeah, that'll be a tough one. Needs more echo. Rip. Oh yeah, because there's a delay. Whoops. Yeah, forgot about that delay. But yeah, I'll try to do this at college. I have no clue though. Actually, yeah, I'll record something at my school. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, I think. I'm gonna do that this Saturday. I'll go there, record some examples with me talking over it. And actually, well, not me talking over it, but do different styles. Because, okay, here's a teaser for what we're going to talk about next week. Different techniques of singing. So not only just singing on key or whatever, but singing, you know, nasally.